What do you do when you want to lose weight, but no matter how hard you try, you just cannot seem to do it? When you feel like you're powerfully driven to eat foods that you know are not good for you, and when you've been on and off fad diets for years. Hi, my name is Monica Yearwood. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, and welcome to my channel, where I offer solutions for diseases of lifestyle, mindset, and emotional health. And today I'm going to be teaching you tip 2 of my 5 weight loss tips that have nothing to do with diet. Really quickly, before we get into it, I want to tell you about my clients when they first come to see me. So most of my clients have a strong interest in yoga or Ayurveda or mindfulness, and they know that if they took better care of themselves, they would feel better, but for reasons unbeknownst to them, they just cannot seem to stick with it. They continuously sacrifice their self-care, and they're starting to see the consequences, whether that is manifesting as excess weight, anxiety, depression, skipping out on their fitness practice, or poor diet. But today we're zooming in specifically on excess weight. And these are very special clients of mine because many of them have been on the dieting cycle for so long, and the consequence is that they're feeling very defeated emotionally and mentally. And many of them blame themselves and blame their willpower. And for that reason, I'm so excited to dive into this tip today because I'm going to hopefully help you to break free from relying on your willpower and self-beratement. So welcome to tip number 2, stop relying on your willpower and find the underlying cause. So let's talk about cravings. So if you're somebody that craves carbohydrates, sweets, and sugar, if you feel a crash after you eat, if you don't feel very peppy or alert when you wake up in the morning, and if you don't really feel hungry upon waking, if you sometimes suffer from sugar binges, so you eat a lot and you suffer from portion control sometimes, like you can't stop eating, and you have strong cravings for sugar after meals, these are a handful of symptoms along with headaches, blurry vision, weakness, dizziness, and heart palpitations that can indicate that you have an underlying blood sugar imbalance. Now, your blood sugar can be imbalanced for a while before you start to suffer from something like diabetes. And in that intermittent period before going on to full-blown diabetes, you can suffer from a wide variety of symptoms, 2 of the key ones being a desire to eat sugar, a desire to eat it in large amounts, and now sugar that may manifest as cookies and cakes, but also alcohol. So if you feel like you have to have that drink or 2 every evening, that can be a sign that you're addicted to sugar. And you also struggle to lose weight and the weight doesn't come off, then you would probably benefit from doing some sugar balancing practices, which can be easily done through certain herbs and lifestyle practices that actually assist and enable the muscle cells to become more receptive to insulin, thereby, in just a short period of time, decreasing the drive to want to consume those foods. Another powerful influence on what you actually desire to eat is your gut bacteria. So inside of our gut, we have a proportion of pathogenic or bad bacteria and good bacteria. We always have some proportion of both of those inside of our digestive system. Interestingly enough, what we desire to eat is strongly influenced by those gut bacteria. A lot of really interesting studies have been coming out about that. The good bacteria in your gut happen to crave good food, sugars inside of legumes and fruits and vegetables. And the bad bacteria happen to crave food that is not good for you. So things like refined sugar. Incidentally, the good bacteria is health promoting. It's anti-inflammatory, while the bad bacteria is health denoting and inflammatory. The good news is that you can influence your microbiome by repopulating it with good bacteria through fermented foods and using natural antibiotics by way of herbs and spices in your diet to naturally balance the gut bacteria and restore a natural desire to eat the foods that are good for you. Another contributing factor to not being able to lose weight is emotional eating. So for many of us, our eating patterns are strongly interwoven into our childhood, our emotional experiences, and a lot of us self-medicate, check out of life by eating, watching TV, drinking alcohol, or somehow trying to distract ourselves from our emotions and what we're feeling is your coping mechanism, then you need to learn how to deal with your emotions in a way where you're not using food as an escape route. Otherwise, it's always going to be difficult for you to lose weight. And why would it ever make sense, if that's you, to make changes in your diet? It doesn't really matter until you address the underlying motivator to wanting to bury your emotion or escape from your feelings through food. There are very few foods that I have on a total outlaw list. And that's because I believe that as you restore the natural inner harmony of the body, you will naturally desire more and more the foods that are fully in alignment with you, and you don't have to suppress yourself on the way, except for foods that are high in obesogens.
Obesogens are chemicals that alter fat balance in the body and actually increase fat cell production and fat cell storage in the body, as well as changing metabolic set points, disrupting energy balance, and modifying the regulation of appetite and satiety to promote fat accumulation and obesity. With the rising epidemic of obesity in the United States and most westernized countries that we're seeing in both adults and in children, it is easy to blame diet as the primary culprit. However, obesogens give insight into the environmental impacts and pollutants that are being put upon on the human body. Common sources of obesogens can be found mostly in plastics and canned goods, as well as many of the pots and pans that we actually cook our food upon. Unfortunately, many of our shampoos and our cleaning supplies, as well as our makeup, also contain harmful obesogens that enter into the bloodstream and have powerful impacts on the human body. The good news is that we're not powerless against obesogens. You can take proactive steps to help to protect your body and your physiology from these harmful chemicals by ridding your home as much as possible of their sources, as well as using aids in your diet to help with cleansing and detoxifying the liver and the lymphatic system so that you create natural resistance in your body. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, just for one example, contain so many amazing phytonutrients that have been clinically proven to enhance liver detoxification, pull out excess hormone from the body, and to offer protection against the chemicals that we're exposed to every day. Liver toxicity is often key in sluggish metabolism and weight that just won't come off no matter how hard you try. I see liver toxicity in many different types of my clients, especially in my clients that have skin disorders and who have gained weight while going through some kind of a hormonal change in their life, whether that's menopause or having a baby. So I had a client, Rachel Holtzman, who came to me after she had a baby and she was struggling to lose the weight. I put Rachel on a 4-week program that targeted her liver specifically, and this is what she had to say. I recently did a detox with Monica and was blown away by the results. Not only were Monica's remedies healing and powerful, I'm back to my pre-pregnancy weight, but her close supervision made the experience that much more satisfying. Rachel Holtzman.
Thank you so much for your time and your attention today. I hope that this information aids you on your path. I'm looking forward to seeing you in tip number 3. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel.